Canto 8, Chapter 2, text number 9. Chapter is called The Elephant Gajendra's Crisis. Actually, there's a whole series of verses here.
I think it's 10 verses.
No, it's not. It's only 4. 9 to 13 is together. Oh, well, okay, there's no purport. Okay. So, yeah, right. 14 and 19 comes after. Also, no, there's, anyway. Okay, we start with text 9. Tasya Dronyam Bhagavato Varunasya Mahatmanaha Ujjana Rituman Nama Akridam Sura Yoshitam Tasya Dronyam Bhagavato Varunasya Mahatmanaha Ujjanam Rituman Nama Akritam surayoshitam Tasyadronyam bhagavato Varunasya mahatmano Udyanam litumanama Akridam surayoshitam Tasyadronyam bhagavato Varunasya mahatmana Udyanam ritumanama Akritam surayoshitam Tasyadronyam bhagavato Varunasya mahatmanaha Ujanam ritumanama Akridam surayoshitam Tasyadronyam bhagavato Varunasya mahatmanaha Ujanam ritumanama Akridam surayoshitam Tasyadronyam bhagavato Varunasya mahatmanaha Ujanam ritumanama Akridam surayoshitam. Any of the ladies in the far back there? Bhagavato Varunasya mahatmanaha Udyanam ritumanama Akritam surayoshitam. I just take the word by word translation for this verse only, and then read the rest of the verses and translation. Tasya, of that mountain, Trikuta, Dronya, in a valley, Bhagavata, of the great personality, Varunasya, the demigod Varuna, Mahatmanaha, who is a great devotee of the Lord, Udyanam, a garden, Ritumat, Nama, of the name, Akridam, a place of sporting pastimes, Surayoshitam, of the damsels of the demigods. So, text 10 to 13. Sarvato lankritam divya nitya pushpa falajumai mandarai parijatascha patala shoka champakai chutai piyalai panasai amrai amratakai api kramukai narikelascha karjurai bijapurakai madhukai shalatalascha tamalai asanarjunai aristodumbara plakshai vatai kimshukachanakai pichumardai kovidarai shalai suradarubhi rakshishurampajambudvya palari akshapaya malai. Translation: in a valley of Trikuta mountain, there was a garden called Ritumat. This garden belonged to the great devotee Varuna and was a sporting place for the damsels of the demigods. Flowers and fruits grew there in all seasons. Among them were mandaras, parijyatas, patalas, ashokas, champakas, chutas, piyalas, panasas, mangoes, amratakas, kramukas, coconut trees, date trees, and pomegranates. There were madukas, palm trees, tamalas, asanas, arjunas, arishtas, udumbaras, plakshas, banyan trees, kimshukas, and sandalwood trees. There were also pichumardas, kovidaras, saralas, suradarus, grapes, sugarcane, bananas, jambu, balaris, akshas, abayas, and amalakis. And it continues, the details, botanical, what do you call it? List of all the rich diversity. Text 14 to 19. Bilvahi kapitai jambirai Ritu Valatakadibhi Tasmin Sadaha Suvipulam Lasat Kanchana Pankajam Kumudotpala Kalara Shatapatra Siorjitam Matasatpada Nirgushtam Shankutaish Chakala Svanai Hangsa Karanadavakirnam Chakravai Sarasai Api Jala kukuta koyashti dajuha kula kujitam matsya kachchapa samchara chalat patma rajaha paya kadamba vetasanala nipa vanjukalai vitam kundahe kulubakashukai si risai kuta Jingudai, Kupjakai, Swarna Yutibi, Naga, Punnaga Jatibhi, Malika Shatapatraischa, Madhavi Jalakadibhi, Shobitam Tira Jaishchanya, Nitya Tubir Alam Gumai. In that garden, there was a very large lake filled with shining golden lotus flowers, and the flowers known as Kumuda, Kalara, Utpala, and Shatapatra, which added excellent beauty to the mountain. There were also Bilva, Kapita, Jambira, and Balataka trees. Intoxicated bumblebees drank honey and hummed with the chirping of the birds, whose songs were very melodious. The lake was crowded with swans, karandavas, chakravakas, cranes, and flocks of water chickens, dajuhas, koyashtis, and other murmuring birds. Because of the agitating movements of the fish and tortoises, the water was decorated with pollen that had fallen from the lotus flowers. The lake was surrounded by kadamba flowers, vitasa flowers, nalas, nipas, vanjulakas, kundas, kulubakas, ashokas, shirisas, kutajas, engudas, kupjakas, swarnayutis, nagas, punnagas, jatis, malikas, Shatapatras, Jalakas, and Madhavi Latas. The banks were also abundantly adorned with varieties of trees that yielded flowers and fruits in all seasons. Thus the entire mountain stood gloriously decorated. Purport by Srila Prabhupada, judging from the exhaustive description of the lakes and rivers on Trikuta mountain, on earth there is no comparison to their super excellence. On other planets, however, there are many such wonders. For instance, we understand that there are 2 million different types of trees, and not all of them are exhibited on earth. Srimad Bhagavatam presents the total knowledge of the affairs of the universe. It not only describes this universe, but also takes into account the spiritual world beyond the universe. No one can challenge the Srimad Bhagavatam's descriptions of the material and spiritual worlds. The attempts to go from the earth to the moon have failed, but the people of earth can understand what exists on other planets. There's no need of imagination. One may take actual knowledge from Srimad Bhagavatam and be satisfied. Hare Krishna. I'm not going to read all through the whole thing again, even though it's pure nectar, but just the names of all these different trees and flowers and birds, and they're so beautiful. I'm sure that those who have more background knowledge, they can appreciate more. If you knew how these flowers and trees, they look like, what they, how they smell, what are their different qualities, then it becomes it's not just a list of names anymore. There's a whole purport. You could write a book about these series of verses, a whole botanical encyclopedia, just like they do make. Madan Gopal has a book on his shelf about all the different kinds of trees that are found in Denmark, out of which I guess many are found here in France also. And there's description of everything, one species after the other, how the leaves look like, what are their different qualities, where they grow, blah, 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 on and on. So, for those who are forestier, as I guess it's called, it's very interesting. We may not ever get to open such a book, but everything is interesting in Krishna's creation. And somebody may wonder, what place does such a detailed account have in a scripture like Srimad Bhagavatam? Let's just get to the point. We have to surrender to Krishna and chant Hare Krishna, and give up our material attachments, and finish, bus. Don't bother me with all these boring details. But it's not boring, actually. It's very interesting. This is not Mayavad. The Mayavadis, they just say, it's all Maya anyway. Why to bother? Why to get into all the detailed manifestations. Of course, this is, it's Maya. It's a place in the heavenly planets. The gardens which decorate the Trikuta mountain. But it sets the scene for, the story of Gajendra the elephant and how he surrendered to Krishna in a time of great calamity. Therefore, it is relevant. It is not just, some story from Bollywood or Hollywood about, boy meets girl and they fall in love, and then so many, problems arise. Separation is there, and great struggle, and finally things fall into place and they come together. And this is not a story of that kind. This is it's something that actually happened about an elephant of all beings. Prabhupada gave one lecture where he was talking about this, about Gajendra the elephant, and he was chuckling this. He said, elephant is, a very big, strong animal, but not very intelligent. Elephants are not known for their intelligence. But still, even an elephant can surrender to Krishna. And the great benefit of Srimad Bhagavatam is that we also get the explanation how it was possible, because it was not an ordinary elephant. In his last life, he was a great king. What was his name?
King Indradumna.
Indradumna. Who made an offense to one sage. I think he was, what was this? Huhu. He was swimming in, Huhu was bathing in a somewhere, and this king, I guess he was in his childhood or something. He pulled a joke on him, swimming under the water and grabbing his leg, as we may also have done in our childhood. You ever did such things, sporting pastimes? Swimming up to somebody under the water and grabbing their legs and pulling them under. So anyway, he did that, but there was an offense, and this Huhu, he became very angry, and he cursed him that because of this, you shall have to suffer the same way. Somebody will pull your leg. You will become a dull elephant in your next life. And was Huhu who took birth as the crocodile, or how was it? The roles were reversed, huh? So Huhu became a crocodile. I guess he also committed some offense to take birth as a crocodile, I can imagine. So anyway, that's the story behind. So in this way, it was not. Everything is makes sense. Everything is. This world is not simply a very chaotic series of events that has no meaning, no connection with the past or the future. And there's no justice. And no, everything is part of an infinitely intricate network of lives of living entities that are interwoven in ways that we cannot understand. We can get a little glimpse when we hear from Bhagavatam and other such realized sources. They can give us some idea of how exactly, not just the general principle that everything that happens is, due to past karma, and in the meantime, while we are suffering our past karma, we are creating future karma. In this way, it goes on and on. But they also sometimes give us little details, just like Prabhupada on occasion. He gave revealed some things, just like he mentioned in connection with John Lennon, who actually died on my birthday. Just a footnote. On the 8th of December in 1980, shortly after I joined, he was shot in New York. Anyway, he said that he was, in his previous life, he was, a very pious man in India, I think. And because of that, he got the good karma of, becoming so rich and famous musician. And similarly, Prabhupada also, I think there was one Indian astrologer who actually revealed that the first Prime Minister of India, Jawaharlal Nehru, maybe we shouldn't laugh, but it was revealed that in his next life he became, of all things, a dog in Sweden. A dog in Sweden. It's better than being a dog in Bombay, I guess. Because, in the West, dogs, they get royal treatment, but still, from Prime Minister of India to a dog in Sweden, that's that's not so wonderful. Other things, Prabhupada mentioned on occasion. He gave a little pieces of information here and there about people's previous and maybe not future lives, but even though that is one of the qualities of devotees who are on that platform. They are what is known as Trikalagya, just like Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Vedascha. How is it? Sarvasya chaham niti sanivishta. Mata smitya jnanam upohansham. I know everything that has happened in the past. I know everything that is going on at this exact moment, and I also know everything that's going to happen in the far future. I also know every living entity, but me, no one knows. Devotees, they have a little tiny quantity of the same qualities as Krishna has, so they can also tell, according to their level of advancement, the past and the future and the present. Thus the story unfolds. This very interesting whole history of this elephant who surrendered to Lord Hari. That was an incarnation of Krishna known as Hari. Yes, right? Mm-hmm. Which of course means he who takes away everything. That's why the materialists, they are very afraid of, worshipping Krishna, because they're afraid that he will just take away everything from them. They prefer to worship Lord Shiva, because Lord Shiva is known to be very easily satisfied, and he can bestow, immense opulence on the worshipper. But Krishna, of course, he can bestow more opulence, but he is known as not doing that. He is known to take away sometimes everything from his devotees. But little do the materialists understand that he will never do that to them. Because why? Because they're not qualified. This is special favor. When Krishna takes away everything from the devotee, that's special favor. How is it special favor? Because all these things, that we are so attached to and that we associate with our happiness, they are actually what keeps us bound up in this cycle of repeated birth and death. So when Krishna takes away everything, as he explains, both in Bhagavatam and in also Chaitanya Charitamrita, that is also mentioned, that when Krishna is especially favorably inclined to a devotee, when he sees that the devotee is now serious, but he is attached and he cannot give up his attachments for somehow, because the material attachments are so strong. So when the devotee is in this way, in difficulty, he wants to surrender, but he's attached. Do you recognize this scenario? I think we all have that problem to a greater or lesser degree. But, take heart, because Krishna will take everything. All the things that stands between you and Krishna, if you are sincere, Krishna will take it away. And then Svacharanam Puja, he will leave the devotee with only his lotus feet. And then, because the devotee is sincere, then he will fully surrender, and then he will become happy. He will actually become satisfied. So that's what happened also to Gajendra, as we shall hear in the following description. Hare Krishna. Any questions or comments?
But if you need to do some service for Krishna, you need some facilities also.
Yeah, then Krishna will give. Krishna is not simply taking away, he's giving. I mean, his real business is giving. What he takes away is, these are actually, he takes away the bad things, the problems, the anarthas, the unwanted things that simply cause trouble. But then he gives himself, and Krishna is Srinivas. He's the very abode of the goddess of fortune. So if you have Krishna, what do you not have? He will, whatever, there are many examples also of great devotees who, had great opulence, but they were not attached. Sometimes even Krishna, he would force, the devotees to accept, just like in the case of Sudama Vipra. He was so renounced, so, but there was a problem also in his case. He was attached to detachment. He was attached to, he was afraid of material wealth, and he was kind of, so Krishna wanted to purify him in a way that, is hard for us to understand. By giving him just so much opulence, inconceivable opulence, just to show him that there's nothing problem. There's no, why are you so afraid of, wealth and facilities for enjoyment? If you are Krishna conscious, if you use everything in Krishna service, there's no problem with that either. So that example is also there. The main thing is we have to become attached to Krishna, and whether we are materially poor or material opulent, it doesn't matter. Because if we have Krishna, we have everything.
In one lecture, Taman Krishna Maharaj, he was speaking. He met some disciple of some spiritual master in India, and the disciple said, "My spiritual master is so renounced that once I gave him dakshina and he didn't know what money was, and so he took with his clothes, but he didn't have so much experience with money, he didn't know what it was." And Taman Krishna Goswami said that my spiritual master, when I met him, I gave him my savings, and when I gave him the money, he counted the money so fast that I had never seen that before.
Yeah, Prabhupada was not a false renunciant. He was not ashamed of dealing with, money and facilities, because he used everything in Krishna's service. How we will spread Krishna consciousness if we just, renounce everything and go and live in a hut somewhere in the forest? That's very good for us, but what about the world? The whole world is, going down the drain. We must do something to try to save them. So to do that, we need facilities. We need money, we need buildings, we need, vehicles, so many things. So for that purpose, we have to deal with it. And the devotee feels that it's a headache, and it is a headache to have to deal with all these things. But because we understand that it's devotional service, therefore we accept that headache. We take it upon ourselves to deal with all this, with the material energy, because it's what Krishna wants. Krishna is pleased when he sees that we take that trouble for his sake, for spreading the movement of Krishna consciousness.
A few people I've spoken to have difficulty understanding why we have so much opulence, why we have to eat so opulently, have so many opulences like that. So how do you explain why we don't live more simply, or not necessarily here, but in general?
Yeah, I guess there are two sides to this controversy or controversy, whatever, depending on where you come from. One is that people, they are contaminated by Mayavad philosophy, which, the classical understanding that spiritual life means you go to the forest and, meditate. I also thought like that when I joined, because I read in the Upanishad that a devotee, he should, live separately from common people and should not associate with materialists. So I really had this idea because I'm from Copenhagen, but when I joined, I joined in Sweden because that was the main temple in Scandinavia, and New Radhakund there. Yeah, so I had this idea. I was kind of hoping for that they would just give me a hut in the forest and I could sit there alone and meditate. And I was a little worried about where will I get food, but I thought maybe they will have some arrangement that I'll just come once a day and it's like it's like a little opening in the door, and they will stick in a plate and then they will go away again. The truth was very different from that. Anyway, people have these ideas, so that when they see, how we live, they also think, how can this be spiritual? But the other side is that sometimes we do eat a little too opulently. Not here, I think, it's not a problem, but sometimes the tendency is there sometimes. I'm not looking at you. Immediately he feels that I'm talking to him. No, but, sometimes we do, become a little indulgent and accept there's too much stress on the yukta and less stress on the vairagya. So we become a little too comfortable, and sometimes the idea is advanced devotee means, nice office, nice house, nice car, but it's not really like that. I felt really good when after like 20 years in ISKCON, I resolved to go on Padayatra in India for a couple of months. And, I'd also become a little comfortable, not too bad, I would say, but still, a little more comfortable than in my early days as a brahmachari. So, but, going on Padayatra in India, that was more austere than even my early brahmachari days in the Copenhagen traveling Sankirtan party. So I really felt good about that. I felt, yes, I'm doing okay. This is real advancement. Anyway, it's good to not be attached, and we have to be careful. And that in the name of yukta vairagya, we become, too comfortable, and there can be a point to this criticism also. That's what I'm saying. That we should, whatever Krishna gives, we should be happy with that. And if Krishna takes away, we should be happy also. Hare Krishna. Let us end here.